David Barry, Green Borders Online Magazine. We're broadcasting from a theatre today, which is going to be showcasing a new show called Rights. And I have pleasure in presenting Leamington, who is the costume stylist and responsible for other duties. Can you just formally introduce yourself, Leamington?
Hello, my name is Leamington Ridley, and I'm from New York and live here now in London. And I'm working with the company, creating costumes and makeup and hair, and making sure everyone looks amazing on the stage.
Can you tell us a little bit about the show?
The show is a contemporary dance performance, and its premise is about the rights of humankind, and using movement to sort of depict that and the injustice as well as the beautiful things.
With regard to the issues of human rights, how are you able to perhaps illustrate the costumes and the styling and obviously collaborate that into the human rights theme?
Well, it's a little bit more about the people as far as, even though we have 10 dancers and we're doing, it's a very cohesive costume idea, but the costumes are much more strong, and some of them have a bit of an urban ethnic feel to it, mixed with the sort of harder edge using of silver fabrics and a little bit more military looking. With these few elements, but then also with the bigger productions, we're doing some aerial elements that have very light chiffons with lycras and butterfly wings and things like that. So we kind of get at the whole group of ideas and feelings of people, so that the light delicate to the harder edge military look as well.
So when you designed the costumes, did you have in mind exactly what the dancers had to achieve?
We did. MICCOLIS is the director and choreographer. He really had a strong idea of what he wanted in mind. So when we met with him, he said this is what he wanted, and then seeing the choreography, we see how much it works. We have one costume that's looks like she's being punctured, and
wow.
But the mixture of where she's on point, ballet on point, and in this punctured costume, it's just a juxtaposition of ideas. So it's that play that I think will be really visually pleasing for the audience, to be able to see this mix of things, you know, mixed with the dancing.
And are you looking forward to seeing the show?
I am.
For real?
Yeah, I am. You know, you see it in rehearsal, and you see the costume process and everything starting to come together. So I'm looking forward to seeing with the lighting and all of the added visual effects that will be with it as well, which will bring it all to life more than what we see in the rehearsal studio. So it's exciting. Yeah.
And how much was involved in producing the costumes, Leamington?
Oh, I did for most of the sewing, and we did all the cutting, pattern making, everything like that. So
how long did that take? You know, from planning to manufacturing, so to speak.
Yeah, it's been about a month. It's
wow.
been in the
Lots
process
of hard
designing.
work.
Yeah, designing for a bit longer than that, but the actual sewing and construction about a month. So, and the number of dancers, we have about 11, 12 dancers, so it's a bit of work.
And you're originally from New York?
Originally from New York. I'm a costume designer, dancer and costume designer from New York. And I have a costume company in New York doing costumes for dancers, specifically for dancers.
Would you say there is a difference between London and New York with regard to general costume design and styling?
I don't know. I don't know. New York tends to be sort of the cutting edge with design as far as dance. Anyway, so everything kind of stems from there. But I find here that, at least in the contemporary world, it's a little bit more mainstream, the design itself. But you know, I come from a world that has it from everything. I've done costumes for opera, for, you know, ballroom and Latin dancing to contemporary ballet, everything like that. So, you know, it's nice to be here and see the different kinds of dancers who are actually dancing in the costumes. So I think that's the biggest difference for me, the dancers, as far as the costume is the same.
And getting back to the show, with regard to human rights issues, have you yourself ever experienced problems with regard to human rights or any related issues, Leamington?
I would say I've been pretty lucky that I haven't experienced a whole lot of it. I mean, coming from New York, it's kind of a melting pot of everything, but you still see, you know, I mean, as New York is very segregated in its own ways. So, but you just learn to be there and see it. And, you know, I've had other experiences of, you know, you're dealing with people not accepting, you know, and that's what the piece is about, you know. So you can be in a room with so many people and learning to accept everybody in that room, you know. So of course you go through life and you have to deal with little things like that. But on a huge scale, I wouldn't say so. But you see it every day, and that's why pieces like this are good, because it really brings it to light that it's still here, and as we travel around the world, it's still here, and you can't be blind to the injustices that are around, you know. But you need to be aware of it and then do something about it if you can. So us doing this kind of pieces,
Just making people aware.
Exactly, and that's what we wanted, is for people to see it and have a different way of looking at it. It's not something you read or a news program. It's, you know, using dance to tell those same stories.
So it's a very, very inspirational show as well, isn't it?
Yes, it can be. You know, for people to look at it and to walk out with something in their head and say, okay, well, yes, you know, how does this impact me? How does that fight still impact me? And that's, you know, if we can do that through dance, it's a great thing. Dance is a great medium for all of those issues.
Thank you very much indeed, Leamington. David Barry, Green Borders online magazine at the Bernie Grant Art Centre. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.